Okay, so the first flow we're going to start with is, of course, the welcome flow. It's going to be the flow that has the most amount of traffic and contacts going through it. It's going to be the flow that will likely make you the most amount of money. Before we do jump into it, let's just quickly have a look at the customer life cycle, because there are so many flows and you have to understand it's for different parts of the customer journey. So you have new customers or people entering the database. I mean, it does have browser band in here and cart abandonment, but really somebody does have to sign up initially, and you have to get their email address before they can even receive these two flows. And then of course you have the new subscriber right here, and that will be going through the welcome flow. Once somebody finally does purchase and they become an active customer, then you've got the post-purchase flow, you've got replenishment, you've got cross-sells, upsells. This is the most engaged part of the customer journey. This is where people are opening their emails the most. This is where they're going to be coming back as repeat buyers. This is where they can be loyal customers, become VIPs. And then what happens is that people inevitably will start to churn, right? Nobody's going to be a customer forever. Nobody's going to keep opening their emails forever. So while they're churning, they'll become a lapsed customer. They're either going to just stop buying from you, or they're going to go to another competitor. So that's where, replenishment and win back sort of starts coming into play. So now that you understand a little bit about the customer journey, let's get straight into the welcome flow. Also, a few notes on the welcome flow. Of course, your front-end offer matters a lot for like your profit on the first purchase, your customer LTV. But another thing to note is that this is like a basic welcome flow, but you can actually create a personalized welcome flow. So when you do a pop-up that collects zero-party data, trying to find out the goals or the preferences of your customer, and they fill out, I'm looking for skincare because I have acne, or whatever it is, then whatever they choose, you can actually then personalize this. You can put a conditional split in here and then send them through a personalized welcome flow. So, maybe people buying supplements, they buy supplements for many different reasons. Some people want to shred, some people want to get like jacked and bulked up. So when they go through the welcome flow, if someone says, just getting ready to get ripped for summer, then you probably want to have messaging, social proof reviews, images that show people who are ripped, who are talking about the product reviews on how they got really shredded with your supplements, right? So it's not generic, and it's actually talking to their problems and their pain points. So, they end up being more highly converting than if they went through a generic welcome flow. Another good thing to note is that it's worth for the welcome flow to also have dedicated landing pages. Why? Because these are prospects coming into the welcome flow, right? So you want to be sending them to, when they click, you want to send them to a high converting landing page instead of just sending them to the home page or to a collection or product page. Once again, these guys are prospects. They're not really deep in the funnel yet. A lot of them will be ready to buy, but you want to make sure that you can convert as many as you can, especially as soon as they sign up. And that also works when you get the personalized flow. So you can have a personalized flow where people want to get shredded, and then you're actually going to send them to a landing page that's all about, talking about getting ripped or losing fat, things like that. Or then if they want to get bulked, then it's all about getting jacked. And here's the products you should buy, everything like that. Something to consider. We use with Plot to sort of build out the flows. Just makes it super easy. You can do SMS, push notifications, everything like that. You can use something like Miro mind maps, but it's a bit more manual work. With this is just a few clicks and you can build it out. So what happens to the welcome flow? Somebody signs up to the pop-up. They're going to be added to newsletter or a master list. Some flow filters you want to use. Sometimes I see this mistake happens a lot of the times with a lot of brands that we audit, is the welcome flow doesn't have flow filters, and then you should have checkout started 0 times, added to cart 0 times, placed an order 0 times. So if they do start checkout or add to cart, then they'll get kicked out of this flow, and then they'll only be in those flows. If they do place an order, they'll also get kicked out of this flow, and they'll go through a post-purchase flow, because otherwise somebody's ordered, they're getting the post-purchase flow and they're still getting the welcome flow, which is of course two contradicting like messaging, very confusing for the customer and probably sending them too many emails. So you really want to protect them from that. Then we always have an exclude equals true profile property tag so that we know everybody who's in a flow and we know that we shouldn't be blasting them with campaigns, right? So you want to protect them from campaign emails, not distract them from taking the flow's goal action and sending them all these other random emails. Okay, so email one, super simple and easy. What did they sign up for? They signed up for something that all they care about is like, what's in it for me? Do I get 10% off? Do I get $1 off? Do I get a free gift with purchase? Email one is just deliver what you promised. And that's all you need to do, right? Don't overcomplicate it. Some designs here that you can look at. Here's like Aura Bora, you know, welcome to Aura Bora land, bang, enjoy 15% off, shop now, right? Keep it simple. You can put in a little bit about your story if you want to, but really right at the top, just have that call to action and this is what you've got, right? Let's look at the next one. Brand indoctrination. So I see a lot of brands getting this wrong. They're either not focusing on something like Brand Story by Donald Miller, where it's positioning the customer as the hero and then positioning other products as the villain, which is really powerful. And typically what I see them doing is they're just, here's my brand story or here's the product origin, right? And that's it. It's just the history of how we created it and all that. But really what you really want to focus on is answering the question like why we exist, right? It needs to resonate with the audience to the point that they are nodding their heads as they read it. So you can obviously talk about the origin story, but also why is it relevant to now, right? So the collective attitude, outlook on the world today, you either work with it or against it and throw stones at it, right? So you're not trying to be another, we are better than X or we are better than Y. You want to show at least a unique mechanism, like this is something that we do or we have that nobody else is doing. That's like a proper USP. Otherwise, you're just going to drown out in the noise. You're just going to be another this or another that. And I'll show you an example of what I mean, especially when we're talking about collective attitude and outlook in the world today. So a really good one is actually recess, which we have down here. So it's, hi friend, we're also stressed all the time, right? And that's definitely the world we live in today. There's a lot of like hustle culture. Everyone wants to be entrepreneurial. Everyone's like, you know, trying to make it and do big things, and people are working their asses off, right? So that's why we made recess, right? To help you feel calm, focused, and creative despite the world around you. And then it keeps going. We designed recess to be something different. So not only that, but they're also talking about we use real fruit. So also the current sort of zeitgeist is not just, you know, there's a lot going on in the world, it's super stressful, but it's also everybody wants real, everyone wants organic, everybody wants raw, right? And so then they're also touching on that point, right? Real fruit, no fake stuff, plus functional ingredients. And then they kind of just go into it and that. Urging to get you to the place that you want to be, right? So this is a really smart one when compared to a lot of other ones. So just think about that and how you can use that with your brand. So we've done welcome, we've got them on board about the vision and you know, being a part of the brand, right? If they still haven't bought, then maybe they don't trust the brand, the product, or the shop. So you just want to use social proof, right? Pretty easy. Reviews, testimonials, media features, industry awards. Of course, the easiest one and probably what I would just recommend you do is just the product reviews, right? Try and select reviews that really talk about pain points of your customers or be really fun about it and quirky about it. So here we have Aura Bora. People love it. So it's not just a product review here. they're actually tagging their social and they've actually got an image, right? Which is like 10 timesing that social proof instead of just doing text. So we've got some cool stuff here. That's great. And then I also love what Braxley Brands does. The people have spoken. They mix in a lot of like pop culture, so it makes it fun. It makes it interesting to read. So here we've got The Office, and so on and so forth, right? So that's social proof. We're trying to build trust. Next one is PASS. So it's a direct response copywriting style. Problem, agitation, solution. So we really want to poke at their pain points, like, you know, they have a need and that product is fulfilling the need, right? So let's talk about that need, let's agitate it, and then present your product as the solution. So I'll show you some examples here. Okay, so this is a really, really strong and good one, right? It's by Act Acre. So it's like scalp care, right? Big problem, dandruff, things like that. It literally starts with what looks like a sort of like a news article for authority. This is the only product that stopped me from worrying about my scalp. So right away, pretty much saying what's inside of the customer's mind. And then, of course, before and afters work really well, especially in things like skincare. And then once again, they're saying, tried a bunch of other products, you know, so I've tried all these other options. That's also something that happens to a lot of people, that they kind of like feel like, oh man, I want to give up. I've already tried so many different things. So they're touching on that and they're going, this is the only product that helped with it, right? So problem, worrying about scalp, agitation, showing before and after, and then also feeling hopeless because they've tried so many different things. And then solution is like, bang, it's our product. 93% agreed flakes reduced, 92% agreed reduced scalp itchiness. Really amazing email. Is a perfect example of a PASS email. Another really cool one by Frank Body. Say bye-bye to razor bumps and ingrowns. Everybody hates that shit, right? Got ingrowns, get glycolic. So then it talks a little bit, agitates it again. Ingrown hairs are annoying but common. They live curled under the skin, cause irritation to babes worldwide. Luckily, solution, glycolic body scrub works to break down dead skin cells and blah, 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 tackle ingrowns. Razor bumps, be gone. Gotten ready for a hot date just to end up with bumps on your bikini line. Rusty razors don't help. Really, really good copy and a great PASS email. Now, what happens if your product does not solve a really strong pain point, right? So what if you're selling fashion or home decor? You can use like use cases, show them examples. You can introduce them to the community, push to omni-channel, things like that. So there's always going to be other options. Once again, this is like not set in stone, right? This is just like a good foundational setup. Every brand's going to be different, has different needs, have a different customer base. So you do have to tailor things to what your brand is, right? All right, perfect. Now we go to email 5, and it's kind of like using urgency and scarcity. Well, mainly urgency. It's just like last chance to use the initial front-end offer. And we're saying, look, there's only like 24 hours left. Make sure that you use the code. So we won't really have to go into examples for this. It's pretty straightforward. Then we wait another 2 days. And what I love to do here is change things up. They're getting a bunch of really fancy designed emails. They all look like marketing emails, right? And then we all of a sudden are going to flip the script. We're going to use a plain text email, and it's kind of like a customer check-in. So this is also really good for very, very high priced brands, products, and also products that are quite complicated, like skincare or makeup, or even mattresses, right? Mattresses, very high price. Most people don't know what mattress to get. Do I want springs? Do I want gel? Do I want cooling? Like, what are all these layers? I don't understand what I should be getting for my back or to help me sleep. So these plain text customer check-in emails are fantastic. A few things about them. It's plain text, can come from the founder or customer service, and they have very high deliverability. So really good chances of good inbox placement instead of going to spam or even like promotions or updates in the Gmail. Really good potential to engage. So people will reply to these emails. What you want to do is kind of do two things here. Definitely want to offer help and support. Make it come across very conversational, as if you have literally just seen a customer hasn't purchased, and then you're like, you know what? Someone in customer service, like, I'm going to reach out and help this person. And they go into their Gmail or Outlook and they just shoot off an email. So offer help and support and provide a unique incentive. So the help and support, yeah, of course, you can just be like, hey, just noticed you haven't purchased, and you signed up for the offer, 10% off or whatever it was, the free sample. Look, let me know if you need some help. Just reply to this email or click here to go to online chat. Or if you do have the resourcing, then they can call you up, anything like that. And then provide a unique incentive. You can also be like, look, I noticed also your discount has expired. I've just gone into the back end of Shopify, and I've created a unique coupon just for you. It's good for the next 48 hours. Here it is. Make sure that the code that you give them does look unique, right? So it can't be like welcome 10, right? And people are just like, welcome 10, that you didn't create that. It should be like a bunch of random numbers and letters and stuff like that. So let's have a look at an example. So here's one, green philosophy. Oops, here's 15% off. You can use that subject line. I would want to try and be more sincere and just be like, hey, just wanted to check in on you or whatever it is. Hi, Michael. It's me again, Lillian, just checking in because I noticed you never got around to using your code 10% off. Since this is your first order, I'm happy to help you if you need me. Just reply to this email and give you a hand. Oh, and I didn't want you to miss out, so I upgraded your discount to 15% off, created a new coupon code for you. This one expires in 24 hours. WS7, and that's preview because they're generated through Klaviyo, so they are all unique coupons. So that's really smart. And then 100% you want to have, just like your professional email would have, is it has like a profile pic, says who you are, your position, everything like that. See you around. Here's another example. It's a little bit, let me see if I can get one that's more zoomed up. All right, cool. This is actually one that I received from satechi.com. And it wasn't the welcome flow or anything. I think it was a follow-up after a flash sale. So everybody who didn't purchase from the flash sale, so you can use this in campaigns also. They did a follow-up email, text-based only. Hey, it's Alex here from customer support at Team Satechi. Do you have a second to chat? Notice you received an email about the flash sale the other day but didn't take advantage. We don't do deals like this often. So I want to check in and see if you ran into a problem on the site or had any questions. If so, feel free to check out frequently asked question page or reply to this email so I can give you a hand. So you're really trying to give that human touch with this email, right? Which people really appreciate. They respond to it, and you're going to get a lot of replies and clicks, which is also good for deliverability. If it wasn't on your radar, but you're ready to shop, no worries. I just created a new discount code for you, blah, blah. It's good for 24 hours. Click here and we'll apply the discount automatically. Have a good one, right? Super, super smart. And as you can see, like these types of emails, they're going to stand out and they're going to be very, very effective. Now, what happens if people still haven't purchased? Now, there's a few things here. One, it is probably good to do post-purchase surveys and actually figure out how long does it take for somebody from the first time they find out about our brand to the time they purchase. Because this welcome flow is like over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. But you may actually find out that people know about your brand and they actually don't buy until 3 weeks later. So maybe you want to position even the plain text to 3 weeks later and then the qualitative data one to 3 weeks later, just to give them time to purchase. And then if they didn't, these are sort of like your last ditch efforts. Now the qualitative data one is super important because you're actually trying to figure out why don't people buy, right? What is stopping prospects from buying? Is it the price? Is it the experience? Do they not have enough support around choosing a product? Figure out where the friction point is, so then you can then improve those parts of your funnel, either on your product copy page, either through your email, any part of your marketing, right? So what is qualitative data collection for a prospect? So here is one. Okay, so this is one that we did for Real Eats. This wasn't a figuring out why prospects never bought in a welcome flow. This was actually for people who canceled their subscription. But this is exact same, you do it the exact same way, exact same goals. One thing to notice is you don't want to send them to a survey. These people haven't purchased from you. They don't give a fuck. They don't want to go fill out a survey. They've never experienced your product. So you want to make it as easy for them as possible. So we do something like this. Hey, anything we can do better? So this one would probably be like, hey, just checking in, notice you didn't buy. We just want to know, what was the reason for you not buying? Did you have any issues, blah, blah, blah. And then you give them options, and these are buttons, right? So this one, it was like, did you cancel because it was taste, too expensive, needed more variety, ordering process was difficult, customer service could it be better? So you're trying to collect data on what's causing people to do or not do specific actions. And every time they click on these buttons, you can actually create a URL and you can send them to a page that says, thanks, or you can make an automatic pop-up saying thanks for submitting your answer. But what else happens is that when someone clicks on these, it updates their profile property. So then you can see profile property, price, profile property, more variety, profile property, ordering difficult. And then as people are clicking on all of these, those profile properties are now there. Now you can create segments and say people who have this profile property, and then you'll actually see, you may think that people aren't buying because of price, right? Maybe if it is price, then you can have different payment options like Klarna and payment plans like buy now, pay later. But sometimes you may think it's price, but it's actually they needed more help or more information on a buying decision. And so if you find out that and you go, oh shit, it actually isn't price. It's actually, we need to help people know what to buy, if it's makeup or skincare or whatever it is. So you've got to start thinking, all right, maybe we need to do more customer check-in emails, more personal touches. Maybe we need to create a product quiz that people can go to so they can answer a bunch of questions and we go, this is what you need, right? And so you can now use this information. You can now optimize your funnel, both email, product page, CRO, even send it to the acquisition team. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have more conversions because now you're either talking to those objections or helping those people make a purchasing decision. And then we just wait 2 days and then we exclude them. Exclusion equals false. So the exclude property equals false. So now they can start receiving campaign emails. They've gone through all of this and this is all we've wanted them to see. And now they're ready to just start seeing campaign emails unless they're now in another flow.